How to pray effectively, not as a ritual of words, but as the awakening of divine intelligence within you. Prayer is not a whisper sent to a distant heaven. It is the movement of infinite mind through your own thought and feeling. Every idea you hold with conviction is a seed planted in the creative soil of your subconscious, and every harvest, whether joy or sorrow, wealth or want, blooms from that inner garden. If you stay with me until the very end of this journey, you will not only know how to pray effectively, you will feel the living current of infinite intelligence flowing through you, shaping your world with effortless precision. Because what you are about to discover is not another technique, it is the law of life itself. Your every thought and emotion is a silent prayer. Each image you accept in the solitude of your mind is an instruction written upon the tablet of the unseen. The universe does not respond to the language of lips, but to the tone of belief. It hears conviction, not repetition, acceptance, not anxiety. To pray effectively, you must begin from a single truth. There is an infinite intelligence within you, a power that becomes the thing you desire to the exact degree that you accept it as already yours. When you truly believe, your subconscious accepts the image as reality. And once accepted, the law of creation begins to move, quietly, precisely, inevitably. The moment your mind can no longer conceive of the opposite of your desire, when the thought feels done and final, that is the moment your prayer is answered. Imagine a sculptor standing before unshaped marble. The hammer does not create, it only reveals. Every strike removes what does not belong. So too must your mind chip away every doubt until the image of your desire stands complete within you. Prayer, then, is not pleading with the infinite, it is alignment. It is the art of seeing the invisible so clearly that the visible must rearrange itself to match. You must believe what you want to believe, and when you do, the subconscious accepts your command as law. It begins to work with mathematical precision, assembling people, ideas, and circumstances to fulfill the pattern impressed upon it. Within you lives the silent architect, the infinite intelligence of your subconscious mind. It holds the wisdom of 1,000 generations, the memory of creation itself. It governs your heartbeat, your breath, and the rotation of galaxies. Yet it waits for the smallest whisper of your conscious command. When you decide clearly in your conscious mind and release that decision to your subconscious, you awaken a divine partnership. You are no longer alone in the doing. You are guided by that deeper mind which knows how. To pray effectively is to speak the language of certainty. I know that infinite intelligence has the know-how of accomplishment. It will respond to me according to the nature of my request. That is not hope, it is faith clothed in understanding. The ancient text says, "Ask, and it shall be given you. Seek, and ye shall find. Knock, and it shall be opened unto you." These are not poetic suggestions. They are psychological laws. When you ask, you are impressing the subconscious. When you seek, you are maintaining the vibration of faith. And when you knock, again and again, you are declaring your refusal to doubt. The nature of your subconscious is responsiveness. It cannot resist a sustained belief. It will open every closed door to the one who refuses to stop knocking. So keep asking, seeking, and knocking, not in desperation, but in divine enthusiasm. Know that there is a solution to every problem, a way out of every dilemma, a healing for every condition. Nothing is incurable to the mind that knows its unity with God. Let me tell you a story. In Los Angeles, a woman once lost a diamond ring, a symbol of something precious, perhaps of love itself. She searched frantically, but her worry clouded the mind that could have guided her. Then she paused and asked herself, What is the truth about this ring? The answer rose gently within her. Nothing is lost in infinite mind. The intelligence in my subconscious knows where the ring is. It leads me to it. Moments later, a calm impulse directed her steps back to a bus stop she had passed hours before. There, glittering by the curb, was the ring, untouched, waiting. It was not a coincidence. It was the exact demonstration of a mind aligned with infinite intelligence. When truth replaced fear, guidance appeared. That is how prayer works, not through struggle, but through attunement. Most people beg when they pray. They plead to an external deity, hoping to be heard by a power they secretly doubt. But this kind of prayer only reinforces lack. For every time you say please, you declare that you do not yet possess. To pray effectively, you must pray as though you already have received. For God is not apart from the gift. God is both the giver and the gift itself. You do not need to persuade the infinite. You need only to reorder your mind and align with truth. Every desire already exists as a spiritual reality, waiting for your acceptance to bring it into form. Consider Charles Lindbergh flying alone across the Atlantic. No co-pilot, no radio, no parachute. Only a compass and a conviction. When exhaustion overtook him, his conscious mind surrendered and his subconscious took command. He later describes seeing radiant beings beside him, translucent forms guiding his path through the clouds. He said, "My skull is one great eye." When he awoke, he saw the coastline of Ireland beneath him, only miles off course after thousands of miles of flight. This was not chance. It was the subconscious in full control, infinite intelligence guiding its instrument flawlessly through the air. And so it is with you. When you release control, when you trust the deeper wisdom within, you will always be guided. The same presence that directed Lindbergh's hands on the controls directs the unfolding of your destiny. If there is discord in your home, your work, or your relationships, you can change the entire vibration of your world by one simple practice. Affirm quietly, "The absolute harmony of the Infinite One reigns supreme in my mind and in the minds of all involved." Hold that prayer until, as Scripture says, the day breaks and the shadows flee away. Do not wrestle with appearances. Rearrange your thoughts on the side of peace. See divine love dissolving all unlike itself in your heart and in the hearts of others. This is effective prayer. What is true of the infinite is true of you. You are not a fragment of divinity. You are its expression. When you realize this truth, you are free. If you face a problem and know not what to do, simply affirm, "The wisdom of the infinite reveals to me the perfect answer now." Then become still, and it will rise, perhaps as a quiet intuition, a sudden idea, or a gentle nudge to act. This is how the infinite speaks, in stillness, in certainty, in love. To practice the presence of God is to fill your soul with divine love, peace, and power until you can feel nothing else. For where that presence is felt, no fear can survive. Some call it faith, some call it prayer, but the truth is simpler and far more powerful. When your mind and heart move in perfect unity, the universe must respond. Because what you believe with feeling, you create in form. Faith is not a whisper in the dark. It is the sunlight that dissolves the shadow. It is the inward certainty that the same power that made the stars now moves through your veins, healing, guiding, creating through you. When you pray effectively, you are not asking for something to come. You are allowing the infinite to express what already is. You are not adding light to darkness. You are opening your eyes to see that the light has always been there. In the 8th chapter of Luke, we are told of a woman who suffered for 12 long years. Her body had become her prison. The physicians of her day had failed her, yet she believed. Through the crowd of opinions, fears, and worldly reasoning, she pressed forward, not through the multitude of people, but through the multitude of thoughts in her own mind. At last, she touched the hem of the Christ consciousness, the awareness of divine wholeness, and was made whole. This story is not about ancient miracles. It is about you. For every man and woman who dares to touch the infinite within will be healed, not merely of disease, but of separation, of fear, of limitation. The crowd she fought through represents every doubt, every "it can't be done," every voice of disbelief that rises within you. But when you brush these aside and give yourself wholly to the infinite presence, the response is immediate. It has always been waiting. True prayer begins when reasoning ends. It begins when the intellect bows before the mystery of the heart. Faith is not an emotion. It is a spiritual knowing that transcends logic. When you pray, you are not bargaining with God. You are acknowledging that God already is. When the woman touched the garment, she was not healed because she reached out. She was healed because she believed that by reaching, she was already one with that healing power. Her act of touch was a symbol of inner union. Many years ago, Joseph Murphy told a story of a sales manager who trained his men with 4 steps. Find the prospect, win his attention, earn his confidence, close the sale. Murphy smiled and said, "Are you sold on the infinite?" That question cuts to the heart of all prayer, because your higher self, the divine mind within, is your only real prospect. Every day you are selling something to your subconscious: fear or faith, limitation or abundance, life or decay. What are you selling yourself right now? To pray effectively, you must first be sold completely and joyfully on the truth that infinite intelligence within you can do all things. Give your attention to that power. Believe that the same intelligence that formed your body can renew it, that the same spirit that created galaxies can organize your path. You are not trying to convince the infinite. You are aligning with it. Dr. Murphy revealed that all effective prayer follows 4 inner movements, 4 steps that mirror the natural law of creation itself. Step 1, allegiance. Give your complete loyalty to the one power within you. No other force has authority over your life. Refuse to worship appearances, the economy, the diagnosis, the opinion of others. Declare silently, there is only one power, infinite spirit, and it is working through me now. Step 2, refusal. Refuse to give power to any external thing. Do not bow to conditions or fear. What you empower by belief becomes your master. Withdraw that energy and give allegiance only to the life-giving presence within. Step 3, affirmation. Turn away from the problem entirely. Feel and know that the infinite healing presence flows through you now, vitalizing every cell, energizing your mind, harmonizing your affairs. Say within yourself, God is. This infinite presence flows through me as strength, wisdom, love, and right action. Feel it. Let the feeling be your prayer. Step 4, gratitude. Rejoice and give thanks. Even before you see the result, say, "Father, I thank thee for the perfect answer. I know it is done." Gratitude seals the prayer. It tells the subconscious that the work is complete. And once the subconscious accepts that command, creation begins instantly. At this point in the journey, pause for a moment. You have learned that prayer is not asking, it is becoming. But to truly make this knowledge alive in you, it must be practiced. That's why I invite you right now to begin the 21-day challenge to create your dream life. Every day for 3 weeks, you will practice these 4 steps of prayer with unwavering devotion: allegiance, refusal, affirmation, and gratitude. You'll find the full guide linked in the description and pinned comment below this video. Begin today, not tomorrow, not someday, and watch your world begin to shift before your eyes. Because faith that is lived becomes power. Now return with me to the silence of the soul. Feel the quiet pulse of your heart. Each beat is a word of the infinite saying, "I am here." As you dwell on the idea of divine perfection, that idea begins to take form. Your spiritual thought becomes substance, the invisible shaping the visible. If you pray for healing, do not think of sickness, think of life. If you pray for abundance, do not think of lack, think of overflowing supply. Your thought, once spiritualized, becomes the pattern that matter must obey. This is not imagination alone, it is law. Suppose you are praying about a heart condition. To visualize a diseased organ is to reinforce its pattern. But to see divine life flowing through your body, radiant and whole, is to impress perfection upon the subconscious. Your body is a mirror of your beliefs. Thoughts become cells. Ideas become tissue. Fear becomes tension. So cease dwelling on symptoms and turn to the presence within. Affirm, "The infinite healing power flows through me now as harmony, vitality, and love." Repeat it not as a chant, but as a realization. The feeling of truth will heal more swiftly than any word. Then, when you have spoken your word, rejoice. Do not look for signs or proof. Your conviction is the proof. Say, "It is done. I have touched the border of the infinite garment, and the power is now in motion." The moment you accept the answer as real, it begins to manifest in the seen world. The laws of life move at the speed of belief. You may not see the current, but it is moving. Under the calm surface of your conscious mind flows a mighty river, the creative power of the subconscious. When you pray effectively, you do not fight the current, you align with its flow. You stop struggling upstream and allow the river to carry you effortlessly toward fulfillment. This is why Jesus said, "Your Father knoweth what things ye have need of before ye ask Him." The asking is not to inform God, it is to inform yourself that you are ready to receive. You have learned the movements of true prayer, but there is still one secret, one final revelation Joseph Murphy called the practice of the presence. Because when you no longer pray to God, but as the living channel of God, creation itself begins to answer in your voice. There is a moment in every soul's journey when words fall silent, when the prayer you once spoke becomes the very breath that sustains you, when asking ends and knowing begins. This is the final revelation of how to pray effectively, to no longer speak to the infinite, but to awaken as the infinite speaking through you. You are not a seeker reaching for God, you are God consciousness reaching into form. You are not a beggar before the gates of heaven, you are the gate itself through which heaven enters this world. When you realize this, every thought becomes holy, every heartbeat a hymn of creation. The presence within. The ancient mystics called it the indwelling Christ, the still small voice, the light that cannot be extinguished. Joseph Murphy called it the infinite intelligence within you. It is that silent awareness that watches your thoughts, that dreams your life into being. It is not somewhere above the clouds, it is here, breathing you, beating your heart, guiding your path. When you close your eyes and feel peace without reason, that is it. When an idea arrives out of nowhere and fills you with certainty, that is it. When you forgive, when you release, when you love without condition, that is it. To practice the presence is to walk each day with that awareness, to see through appearances and know that beyond every shadow there is only one light. Every law of healing, success, and harmony flows from this one realization. God is the only presence and the only power. When this becomes more than a phrase, when it becomes your living conviction, all fear dissolves. The storms of life may rage, but your soul stands still. You no longer ask, how will this be done? For you know the infinite is doing it through you. You no longer worry about the path ahead because you walk hand in hand with the one who knows every step. To pray effectively is to think from the answer, not toward it. You become the feeling of fulfillment now, and the outer world must conform. Your outer world mirrors your inner belief. This is the secret hidden in plain sight. If you believe in chaos, life appears chaotic. If you believe in divine order, all things align with ease. To practice the presence, begin each day by affirming, infinite intelligence governs my life with love, wisdom, and peace. I am one with the source of all that is good. Say it until the words dissolve into awareness. Say it until you feel the living vibration behind the phrase. That feeling is the presence, the bridge between thought and manifestation. When you still the mind, you open the door to divine guidance. The conscious mind ceases to argue, and the subconscious begins to respond. Every great invention, every healing, every work of genius emerged from this sacred silence. Edison called it the region of ideas. Murphy called it the deeper mind. Scripture calls it the secret place of the Most High. Enter that place daily, not to ask for things, but to remember who you are. Sit in silence and feel the rhythm of your breath. Whisper within yourself, peace, be still. And know that in this stillness, infinite intelligence is moving mountains on your behalf. The subconscious mind does not understand time. It acts only in the present. Therefore, when you pray, you must feel your desire as fulfilled now. I will be healed keeps the condition alive. I am healed now impresses the subconscious with completion. Your word becomes flesh when you speak it in the tense of eternity, the now. Every statement of truth begins with I am. I am peace. I am abundance. I am divine love made visible. Each I am is a brushstroke painting your world with the colors of your belief. Faith is not blind, it is inner sight, the vision of truth before the eyes can see it. When you stand in faith, you are standing on the eternal foundation of the universe. You are saying, I trust the process, even when I cannot see the plan. That trust is magnetic. It draws the answer from the unseen to the seen. The river of faith never stops flowing. You may dam it with doubt, but it will rise again and find a way. Because it is not your faith alone. It is the faith of life believing in itself through you. Every effective prayer ends in one sacred act. Release. Let go. Let go of how it should happen, when it should happen, or through whom it should happen. Surrender is not weakness. It is the highest form of wisdom. It is saying, infinite intelligence, I trust you completely. And when you release your word with gratitude, the universe begins to rearrange itself in silence. Just as a seed cracks in the dark before the bloom appears, so too does your answered prayer begin unseen. But the law is certain. What you have impressed upon the inner will be expressed in the outer. Soon you will notice a change, first within, then around you. You will feel lighter, calmer, freer. Situations that once frightened you will dissolve. People will appear as if sent by providence. Doors will open where walls once stood, and you will realize it was never luck, never coincidence. It was the law of life responding to the new image within you. This is how to pray effectively, not by pleading, but by knowing, not by asking, but by becoming. For the truth is this, you and the infinite are one. Now the promise given in the first breath of this journey is complete. You have learned that prayer is not a request, but a recognition. That the key to answered prayer is not in reaching outward, but in turning inward to that infinite mind that always responds, always creates, always loves. When you align your thoughts with truth, your life becomes the prayer, and the world around you begins to echo your inner harmony. So tonight, before you close your eyes, speak these words softly. Infinite intelligence within me, I trust you completely. I know that every good I desire is already mine. I thank you for the perfect unfolding of my life. I rest in peace knowing it is done. Then let go. Sleep in the faith that creation is already finished. And when you wake, act as though the miracle has already happened, because it has. If this message has stirred something within you, if you can feel that quiet yes of the soul, then I invite you to become a channel member of this community. Join us for early access to new Joseph Murphy narrations, meditations, and cinematic journeys that keep this wisdom alive in you. Because when you walk daily with these truths, you don't just change your life, you change the vibration of the world itself. And now, imagine standing at the shore of an infinite ocean. The waves are your thoughts. The tide is your belief. The horizon, endless. You kneel, cup your hands, and lift the water to your lips. That water is God. And as you drink, you realize you were never separated from the ocean at all. You are the prayer, the answer, the miracle in motion. This is how to pray effectively. This is how to live, awake, free, and one with the infinite mind.